My boyfriend gave me an ultimatum about talking to my dad about our issue. This is my first time writing in here ever, and I really need advice right now. English is not my first language, sorry in advance for any grammatical errors that I could have. Another clarification is that it is not an ultimatum about finishing our relationship, it is about having a conversation with my dad. My boyfriend, 21M, and I, 19F, had been together for almost 2 years now. We had always had a big issue regarding my parents because they won't let him take me anywhere. Last year I had a huge fight with my parents, we were 6 months in, and they wouldn't let me go anywhere together. They knew my boyfriend for almost 8 months at that point. If we wanted to go to the mall or for an ice cream we just couldn't go by ourselves, even if they take me and bring me back home they just couldn't bear the feeling of me being alone with my boyfriend in a mall or in the movies, because in their creepy heads, I could leave with my boyfriend to do things and just come back in time for they to pick me up. We could go to have lunch if my sister or my parents or his parents were with us, we could never be in a public place alone. He wanted to take me out to a restaurant for our 6-month anniversary, so he asked for permission of my father 50M. He just said no fucking explanation. He asked if they could take me there, he said just no but he will only if my sister went with us. My boyfriend was just so upset, we never did anything that could upset my parents, I never sneak out to meet him, always ask for permission of them, I'm the best kid they could ever have. Don't do drugs and don't smoke, I drink in moderation, don't party, I'm in university and I'm a great student, graduated as a valedictorian from high school, never give them any reason to doubt me. My dad came home after that conversation with my BF. And told me that it was so disrespectful of him to just ask for permission because he said that he was not respecting his authority as my father. I was just crying because this conversation was over message and I had the screens, and he never disrespected him. He was just so polite. I was just crying because I wanted to know what we can do to gain his trust, and I also wanted to know the reason why. I know he just doesn't want me to have any type of physical relationship with my boyfriend, but it was so irrational. Because I was pushing him to tell me a reason. He said if we ever ask about this again, he will prohibit me to ever in my life to see him again. For some clarification too, my boyfriend is such a great boy, my mom adores him, she is not the issue because she doesn't have any authority if my father says no but she said yes is just no. He is just so great to me. My father never gave me any affection, never said I love you to me not once. It is just so unfair that when I finally had a man that loves me for who I am, doesn't condition his love to me, he is just so fucking jealous that wants to keep him away from me. And it creeps me out that my dad is jealous of me. My dad just doesn't like him because he is my boyfriend. After that my mom and dad gave us permission to go on dates, just the two of us. But they had to take me and bring me home. And if they can I just can't go. It has been over that huge fight about 1 year and 2 months, I believe. So, the issue, this weekend was his grandma's birthday and he really wanted me to be there, but my parents couldn't pick me after. So, I just wouldn't go, and I love his grandma, I wanted to be there, so I asked them I could come on Uber and they would let me, they said yes. When I told my boyfriend this he told me that he was so upset that my parents wouldn't let him take me home but they are just so okay with a stranger taking me home, and also that we cannot have a peaceful dinner ever if we are out just the two of us, because I'm dying of anxiety because my parents are responding so cold to me or because they are asking me for proofs that I am where I say I am. They just try to ruin it every single time. He told me that he was going to talk to my dad face to face. I tried to tell him to not do that because I am so afraid that my dad would prohibit me to ever see him again. He told me he doesn't care, he needs to do this. And it is going to happen. This is driving me crazy. So, I picked a day when I told him to prepare himself and his speech to talk to them. It is going to be this Friday. I don't know how to deal with this stress and anxiety that this had caused me. I just need any tips on how to handle my feelings in this conversation. Sorry if I made this long, please, I'm so sad and afraid to lose him. I'm even thinking about just moving in with him and his parents if my dad prohibits me to be with him. Update. Before I start this update I would like to clear the air and say some things about why I couldn't talk to my dad first. I'm only 19, still live with my parents because our country doesn't have places where you can live while studying. My parents are my economic support, I can't work, my classes at university are from 8 to 6 and have to study a lot. So, Friday was our talk. My boyfriend and I were not in a good place mentally because of all the stress of the situation. After dinner I asked my parents to stay with us to talk. My mom thought I was pregnant, I'm not by the way, lol. She thought the conversation was going to be about that. The conversation started with my boyfriend asking my father what we have done or if he had done something that make him not trust us. He told him his parents don't mind caring for us but at some point, we will like our independence and ask what we can do to gain his trust. My father laughs and says that it was never about us, it was so difficult to let me go. It was difficult for him to watch me grow up so fast and that it was all about him basically. We never did anything wrong, and actually he liked the way I never sneaked out to see him or anything like that. He believed that he was still caring for the little girl he met 19 years ago in the hospital. My psychologist didn't know, but she asked for a meeting with him because it was all causing me some struggles mentally, made him realize that I wasn't that little girl anymore and that I can take care of myself. He said that we didn't even have to ask for permission, just let him know where we are going, what time and the time I will be home, and let him know if we are going to be a little late. He apologized and told us that he felt sorry if we felt that way. Also, he was navigating his position as my father figure while I'm in a relationship, his first time doing this, oldest daughter here, but he realized that what he did was overprotecting me and not letting me live my own experiences. So, this is a happy update. My boyfriend and I are so happy by the outcome of this. It was a pretty stressful week, and we are just so happy. I'm also so relieved. I still love my family and didn't want to make the choice between him and my family. He will win obviously, but it would have been pretty difficult to have cut my family out. That's the pretty happy ending to this stressful story.